Hey, do you guys remember when Department of Defense said we have off-world crafts?
I do remember this.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. It was only like 2 months ago. Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a shit.
Tiger King was on.
Tiger King was on. They said that there's supposedly some potential form of life, whether that be like microbial or bacteria or whatever, on Venus, or at least in the clouds of Venus or whatever, which is fucking huge as well. And nobody says a word. Nobody says a word.
Nobody cares.
Nobody fucking cares.
And when
I
did
guess
it?
I should clap.
It's a hot clap. I love it.
Go on.
When did it become Uranus? Because it's always been Uranus.
It's always.
It always
Uranus.
has.
Did it change?
No.
Yeah, they now call it Uranus.
No, that's only the
come on,
educated
what?
people.
No, they
Only the
don't.
educated people call it Uranus, guys.
When did
It's
that happen?
100% Uranus. I don't
Thank
care what
you.
anybody says.
Exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
100%.
What? Johnny, where'd you hear this from?
Like, that's all I've heard it been called, like, on TV and stuff for years.
That's
And now we're going past Uranus.
horse
It's like,
apples.
It's Uranus.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's
Johnny,
Uranus.
you are living in an alter reality right now.
Maybe I am living in the Mandela effect.
I think you are, bro.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
I don't even know if is this the real Johnny we have tonight?
Guys, I'm
I don't
tripping.
even know.
I'm tripping
Johnny
out.
number 2.
Every time
Johnny
that we
number
said,
two.
every time that we said Uranus, fucking Siri activates. Oh, god damn it!
Really?
Yeah, just 1 second. I don't know what's going on.
Ask Siri. Ask Siri what
No.
her opinion is on this.
No,
She's a computer. She has all the answers, right? She's
That's
always accurate and right.
because I got to use my iPad to capture what I'm doing on the GoPro. I've got way too much shit going on over here, boys.
This is what it happened. This is what happens every single night. I mean, we get into weird conversations. You know, Mitch gets involved, but he hasn't yet. Watch out for him. Tessa, welcome to the show. You are officially a G.
Yeah.
So now you're part of the G crew. Basically, you're in for life.
Do I get a T-shirt or something?
I'm sure we can figure something out.
If we had some. We need to get some. We need to get some shirts.
Yeah. You can't be like a member without like a T-shirt or a mug or
Very
like
true.
a freaking sticker or something.
Yes.
Actually, what we do is we do teardrops, tattoo teardrops of G's.
Just G's. All the way down.
So it's one of those things, you know, blood in, blood out. Yeah. I swear, and I really believe that Johnny Hauser is actually in an alter reality as Ice Cube.
He could be.
Yes, absolutely. I 100%.
He is
Ow.
full West Side.
Ow. How you like me now? That was the whitest thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I love it.
You definitely just shook up Iowa down there.
Yeah, sure.
Shuck up, Iowa.
Tessa, honestly, let's talk about all the amazing accomplishments you've been through in your life. Take us back to the beginning, how you kind of got involved in, you know, spiritualism, and talk about your childhood.
It's a long one. So I was really sick actually as a kid. I was really sick from the time I was born, and they didn't catch it till I was about my son's age. My son is 4, one of them. And I ended up having like a major surgery, and I was in the hospital for a couple weeks. And that was kind of, I think, the turning point for me, where I believe I was born with the gift, right? So, well, it's actually an ability. I don't like to refer to it as a gift, but of being a medium, so I connect with spirit. But I vividly remember being in the hospital and seeing these white figures kind of surround my bed as a kid. And I wasn't scared or anything. It was just, it felt comforting. So I knew it was okay. And following that, you know, I grew up in an Italian household. And so talking about spirits was not really anything that we were supposed to be bringing up. But I remember kind of seeing a man in my room every single night. And I wasn't scared of it. You know, like I said, it was, to me, it felt natural. It felt like I should know this person. And but being a kid and not understanding, I was scared. And it was pretty vivid. You know, I saw exactly what he was wearing. He would try to talk to me. He would come and sit on the bed with me. It wasn't until I was like probably 10, 11, something like that, where I verbalized it to my mom. And I was like, you know, I used to see this man all the time when I was younger. And it ended up being my uncle who died before I was born.
Wow.
And I relayed a lot of messages to my mom about like what he was wearing, which when I told her, it was actually the outfit he was buried in.
Wow.
You know, how he died, nicknames and things like that. And my mom kind of opened up to me and let me know that she had the same ability as me. So,
wow.
yeah, it runs in, my grandmother had it too, but she was that stubborn Italian woman who wouldn't admit that she could feel and see things. So I relied a lot on my mom to kind of help me through it or get me to understand. And we went to places all over, you know, and saw mediums. And I realized like I do the same things as them. I can see and I can feel and I could actually do something with that. So I started playing with like tarot cards and things. I went to Sylvia Brown. Like she did something in Buffalo. She was like the OG of mediums back in the day. And I picked up like a tarot deck in her show, like in the merchandise area. And I brought it home and I just played with it. And I realized I can actually deliver messages that mean something to somebody and help it. Like working with the tarot kind of helped me to create, I guess you could say like a dictionary in my mind of for spirit to communicate with me. So it kind of became a process since I was about 16 to kind of decipher and understand what I was seeing and feeling. And so on the mediumship side of things, that's kind of where it all started. And about 7 years ago, I really started to pursue it. So I went to school, a bachelor's in education. So I was a teacher in the Niagara Falls School District for like 5 years, Niagara Falls, New York. And my master's was clinical mental health counseling. So I kind of always knew that I was supposed to work with people. I had a fascination with how the mind works and things like that. But as I was doing like internships or working with kids, I was channeling spirit and I was picking up on things and knew things about them. And I realized it just wasn't the career path I was supposed to be in. So I actually kind of gave that up when my kids came along, and I've pursued the mediumship side of things ever since.
Man.
Yeah, it's a leap of faith. It was kind of like, you know, I went to school for so long. I'm in debt for God knows how long, but I was like, I know I'm not supposed to be in a clinical setting. So, so I pursued mediumship and I built myself up to a casino show. And since the pandemic, I switched it over to my podcast, which is where Nick came on more recently.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the mediumship side of things.
Wow.
It's amazing where life can take us, right? Like we all are on our separate journeys, but it's interesting when we finally figure out what we're destined to do, because life is like that. I mean, it's a roller coaster ride. You have your highs, your lows. You don't know which way you're going. Every year holds something different.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, look what we're in 2020. It's pretty wild.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I think it's incredible when I hear stories like yourself talk about how you were born into this world and you didn't have an understanding at first of what was happening, but you accepted it. And it's really cool to hear like your family helping you through the process, and then you like just taking it on, saying, no, this is what I really want to do. I really like admire people that can see that and see themselves in the mirror and say, this is what I'm here to do in life. Because a lot of people fall into the trap of, you know what, I have these things, but I'm too scared, or I can't take that next step, or there's always excuses, right? For certain people to like take that next step. But you did it. You took like what you said, you took the leap of faith. Here you are, and you're doing incredible things.
I think that if you're supposed to do something, like if you were put here to be on a specific path, it's almost like the more you avoid it or the more you make excuses, it's like the universe forces you to make a decision. Like I feel like things get taken from you, or does that make sense? The universe will force you to that path one way or another until you finally are like, all right, I'm going to leap. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. It's kind of our relationship with Mitch.
I mean, it is kind of.
It was, like all of a sudden it was forced together, and then like, here we are.
You're like,
Right. Now we can't imagine it without Mitch.
I think
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. I was gonna say, Mitch has been quiet. Is he like struck by beauty here? Like, what's happening? Mitch ain't talking.
He's just kind of being an ass.
I know.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I love you, boys.
Thanks, Bob.
I love you too, Mitch. Yeah.
Hopefully Mitch doesn't get drunk again tonight.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. Because last night he was a little smashed, boys. So. Cut the guy some slack.
He is so deflated. It's not even funny right now. What is happening over there, Josh?
He's not feeling good, boys. He's just not feeling good.
Yeah, well, he should cut back on some of the stuff he's doing over there. It's so awesome. It's so great, like, to get to know you and just hear about your experience. So after everything you did, what else? I mean, I don't think there's just one side to you. I think there's multiple sides to you that you do. You're an artist at heart, it seems like, and it seems, like you're helping people also, and this is like what you're destined to, and you accepted your gift and what has been brought to you. So what else do you do? Tell us more about yourself.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this a little during our other interview together, but I firmly believe that anybody who has a level of intuition has, like, we have to channel it some way, because intuition, with that comes, well, you think of like empathy, you think of taking on energy. And I always refer to like a soaked up sponge. If you're in a location and you're doing an investigation, you're feeling energy around you. And by the end of it, I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but you can sometimes feel like pent up, you know what I mean? Or you need to release it because it's overwhelming. And so I believe that that's intuition. That's somebody who has intuition, empathy, you pick up on things. And I think that people with that level of intuition or empathy needs to be able to channel it. And that's kind of where the artistic side of things come in. And that could be music, it could be dance, it could be drawing, I mean, anything. So for me, when I was 3, I started dance. My mother totally did it just to get me like away from her, I think, for a minute. She put me into a studio and was like, somebody take this child before I kill her. So don't let her fool you. But she put me in dance, and it was kind of just, I was always dancing and performing around the house like a little weirdo when I was little. So she put me in dance. And what I didn't realize for all of those years, because it's been 28 years since I started, and 28 or 29 years since I started dance. And it just became my outlet. It became my channel. And the more as I grew, as I kind of harnessed and really used my ability with spirit and empathy and all of those things and helping people, I needed it more and more and more. So I've done every type of dance you could possibly think of, but most people know me for the contortion side of things. I do gymnastics, contortion, and then aerial arts. So I do like the lyra, like you would see in Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
And it's become just like, it's my go-to thing, after I do readings, it feels like I need to get to a studio. I need to do something. And so when I got my casino show, I kind of combined the two worlds. It was a crazy concept, but I go to the entertainment guy at the casino and I was like, you're giving me a stage, and I'm going to do readings, but like, you can't give me a stage and not expect me to want to dance or do aerial arts. So
yeah.
I combined the two, and I ended my show with a performance. So I'm a dancer, I'm an aerialist, I'm a medium, and I'm a mom.
That's awesome.
I have lots of different
Jeez.
You're an artist at heart, and that's what we love. And that's the great thing is you're doing all your passions. You're not like holding back in life. You're doing everything that you can possibly do, and I mean, that's incredible. I mean, I would love to see Johnny do some contortion acts.
Yes.
God, that'd be hot.
I'd love to see that.
Johnny, can you try a move for us right now? Or?
Anything, bro.
What you don't know is my passion is dance as well, Nick.
Ooh.
I have seen it.
This is hot. This is so hot.
tutus, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Johnny falls over to his beer cans in the corner of the room over there.
Yeah.
Johnny, can you give us a kick on the ground?
I actually cleaned them all up.
Damn it.
I was starting to disgust myself. It was like,
starting to disgust
yourself, bro.
It's very polite of you, Johnny.
Wow.
Yeah.
No cans. Mitch is being silent. What the hell?
What's happening on the G Crew?
I don't even know. I think I may have. Yeah. I think Mitch probably stole all your beer, Hauser. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Boys,
For sure.
where the hell are my pants?
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
What did Mitch say?
He said, "Where the hell are my pants?" He's just completely screwed up.
I swear, Johnny, last night I was looking at Mitch and I'm like, where's Johnny? Johnny didn't show, the show last night. We didn't know where Johnny was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, Mitch is wearing Johnny's shirt.
Yeah. You thought he was for a second.
It's like, wow.
if I can find an exact shirt that Mitch is wearing, I'm going to buy that for sure.
I will find
It has
that
to be
shirt.
the exact print, though.
We can all be Mitch for Halloween.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh.
We're just gonna walk.
This is what happens. We get into this. So what?
Love it.
What other like as far as other beliefs, as far as paranormal, spiritual? What about UFO, aliens, space, cryptids? Anything else that really fascinates you?
You done did
Yeah.
it.
I've always.
Here we go, Joe.
Yeah, you start talking aliens. Christ.
Yeah, well, I totally believe in aliens. What's weird is my son, my older son, my 6-year-old, has the same abilities as me.
Oh,
He's
nice.
complete, like, he picks up on things that I don't even pick up on, which is insane. But at one point we were watching like E.T., I think it was, and he's watching and he's like, Mommy, you think those things are real? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I think they are too. And it was the weirdest thing. He started giving me this information. It was almost coming from like an intuitive place. And he was like, we're going to be finding out pretty soon. He's like, I think more and more they're going to want to come out and they want to know more about us too. And it was just like this mind-blowing experience. I'm like, this little 6-year-old is saying these things, and I believe in them as well. I think there's so much out there that we don't fully know about yet,
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think that somebody already knows something's going to happen. That's why this stuff's getting let out more
But
and
who?
more and more.
But who is that? Yeah, like who's pulling the strings here, boys? Come on.
Mitch.
It's Mitch. I'm telling you. It's
Mitch has got one plastered on his wall already.
yeah,
So.
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
Well,
we talked.
didn't they find a planet that was like beaming us radio signals every like 36 days
Yeah.
or
Yeah, it was
something
like
that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of that stuff. I mean, they've been saying that for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think the facts are this. We look up into the stars, and it's infinity from what we see, right?
Yeah.
I'm just talking from a second perspective of the dimension that we live in right now. So beyond that, we can't comprehend it in our brains because we don't use our full potential of our brains in this human body. So
Right.
how can we even like scientifically sit down and have a basic conversation of how we break X, Y, and Z down to a normal person? You
All
can't.
right. All right.
know?
Good night.
There he goes. There he goes. There he is.
I love you, boys.
Son of a-
Oh man.
Mitch has never said my name until now. Jeez. Mitch, I'm sorry. I just get so passionate about what I'm talking about from the
Ah,
space
sweet
that you came
Jesus.
from.
Did he just say Groff?
I think it's it.
Like,
I don't know.
Like the EVPs I get on my digital recorder all the time.
He gets all pissy.
What is happening, Mitch? You're not taking over.
What's crazy is my uncle Bobby, he moved to Vegas years and years ago. But he worked on Area 51.
Yeah.
And so when we would go visit, because my cousins and stuff live in Vegas as well, so we would go visit, and then when we would visit my uncle, he would bring us past Area 51. And I would constantly just be that really annoying, niece, and I was like, come on, Uncle Bobby, tell me what's going on.
Hell yeah.
What goes on over there, and he's like, what are you trying to get me killed or something? And it would be this consistent thing, like everybody would try to poke and prod at it. And this is the crazy part. So one year, I forget what it was. We were supposed to go there. He went quiet for like the longest time. Not everybody, we didn't really hear from him. It was kind of odd. And we got a phone call one day that he supposedly had a brain aneurysm while he was at work. And then they airlifted him to a hospital in Vegas, but he ended up dying.
What?
And he was not sick. Like, he was totally fine. And that was kind of what happened. The family got the call, and that was it. And he was at work.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, what, did he open his mouth or something? Like,
Wow.
we
That's
don't know what happened.
strange.
We don't know.
That's so crazy.
Wow. That's crazy.
I'm going to say this really quick. You're definitely a G because, first off, I talk about this story all the time. when I was a little kid, I used to listen to Art Bell on my little boombox. Remember boomboxes? You guys remember?
Oh yeah.
Boomboxes?
Yes.
All right. So I used to listen to Art Bell on my boombox, and the reason is because my sister's godparents who lived in Nevada, they're the Godfather. My sister's godfather, not the Godfather.
You're like, I know him.
I know. We know him. We're Italians.
Right.
No, but his father actually built the hangars at Area 51. So before he died, I got so involved into Area 51, I wanted to know everything. So similar story to you, I would ask questions all the time. I would go out there. I think I went out to Las Vegas when I was like 14 or something with my parents, and I was talking to them, and I found out, and I started listening to Art Bell. Then I was that weird kid at 13 where like I had a map in my room, and I was trying to figure out where Area 51 was on the map.
Dang.
But my dad was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to Area 51." He's like,
You're like packing bags, ready to leave the house. Like, I'm going.
Yeah, my son's crazy. That's what he was saying. But I had an opportunity to go out there. Obviously, I lived out there for 11 years. Went to college at UNLV, but I had the opportunity to drive up to the town of Rachel, go as close as I could to Area 51, watch all the white trucks, just staring at me. Me joking, saying, what happens if I put my big toe over the red line?
Yes.
Would it get shot off? And what's crazy is not a lot of people know that they can hear you coming from miles away off government property. So they have all these, high advanced equipment and stuff. But
so weird.
Yeah, I'm fascinated
by
it.
I really don't. There is no reason for it to be that secured. Like, you can't even step foot on there. You know what I mean? Like, what's that about? There's no way that somebody doesn't know something.
It doesn't exist. So first off, the government says it doesn't exist. Then they got sued because employees who actually worked there, who never worked there, were they all got sick because the chemicals they were burying at the Nellis, because it's Nellis Air Force Base, realistically. And what happened is they were burying all the chemicals in these huge barrels. And all the waste and the fumes were blowing back into the working site, and it was getting everyone like cancer and sick and stuff. So there's a big lawsuit to try to sue the government for it. And I think that's when they finally admitted, I think, that yes, there is a base. Yes, it's a secret base. I mean, they're building like stealth bombers from the 80s and high advanced aircrafts and stuff there. But my understanding is, if you look at the map and you see through the generations of how it's changed, there's an Area 52 way off to the side. So it's not necessarily Area 51. There's underground bases. It's all underground. So it's like levels and levels of underground where they're building all this stuff, and then they test fly them and stuff. So, I mean, I think there's something else out there. I think there's a lot of man-made UFOs that we claim UFOs, because even the stealth bomber that was seen, everyone was saying it's a UFO, and then it's like it's a stealth bomber. So I think there's a lot of that, drones. I don't know. I think a lot of the UFOs that we're seeing and experiencing too could be drones that are operated by people that are like time traveling back and warping back into our reality now. I mean, think about it. It's like anything's possible.
Man.
Right.
I mean, we have fiber optic cable running in our homes for internet within the last 50 years of some sort. So it's freaking nuts.
Where I live, I live in the backyard, I have a creek in the backyard, and it goes to the river and everything like that. And a lot of the people that live close to me, like directly on the water, on the river, they say a lot that, especially in that area, they'll be sitting out at night, and they have, like, people who have never even spoke to each other have come together and finally admitted, like, they've seen the same thing, these big UFOs, whatever, with lights on them, and they dive down directly into the water, and then they don't resurface. And there's been, like, handfuls, and a lot of them, like me being a teacher in the district, a lot of the teachers kind of live in this area. So a lot of them started talking, and they were like, what? You saw that too? And it's all the same story. It's a very consistent story of some big objects. Sometimes it's like years apart, but the story stays consistent, and they go right down into the water and just disappear.
Yep.
Wow.
That's amazing.
What do you think, Josh?
Dude, no, like, there have been, different military, whatever, specifically in, like, the Navy, the Air Force that have described very similar anomalies. Like they've seen them come up out of like the ocean in the middle of fucking nowhere, coming out of the ocean. They've seen them like just dive down in. And at first, all they see is like the lights, right? And like underneath, and like, what the hell is that? And then, well, we have nothing on radar. We have nothing here. We have nothing there. We don't know what that is. And then, boom, it just blasts up out of the water. It's like, what the hell does that?
Right.
It's weird to me too, guys. Like, honestly, we know more about outer space, or the small little thing of outer space that we do know about. We know more about space than we do our own oceans. Like, really think about that for a second. It's really messed up.
Yeah.
So there's something going on for sure. I don't want any part of it, but yeah, there's something going on.
But I agree with Tessa's son. I think that we will know soon. I agree. I like that. I think we are on the outskirts of maybe something. And I mean, we talk about this all the time. We go down this rabbit hole. But yeah, I think we're on that tip of that iceberg. You know, I want to see more. Let's go.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna be high. I'm gonna be high, like in a corner somewhere, like just fucking curled up in the fetal position. It'll be fine.
Josh is terrified by aliens.
I do not.
But then again, like I don't know, like you know, will it like just seeing like people are panicking with like the pandemic and stuff, like. Yeah. I don't know that they can handle this. Like, if it actually was like, you know, aliens presented themselves, could humans actually handle that? I don't know, man.
Well, it depends. So if it's like Mars attacks and they're like, hey, let's be friends, and they're all like shaking and stuff.
I think it's the reality of it. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like that.
No, but what if
to be afraid of.
I don't know, bro. Like,
you think?
Let's think about it.
What if
like,
COVID-19 is the litmus test?
Jeff.
What if COVID-19 is the litmus test for full disclosure? And it's like, oh, these fuckers are just going to hoard toilet paper and just freak out.
It's a whole alien experiment happening right now, like a bunch of ants running around.
They'll be like, yeah,
where do we go?
It'll be cool. Let's just start like feathering this shit in there, just little by little.
But seriously, think about it. What I was going to say is, look at the human race right now, right? Some people define this as hell. Yeah. Like, seriously, some people define this as limbo in their life. Like, people are born into this world with diseases and they can't do anything about it. Yeah. Some people are born into, like, poverty where they have to dig through trash in third world countries. It's like, what is happening with the human race? So when humans come into this, it's like, if there is another alien species out there, there has to be, if we're looking at all the infinity stars or whatever we determine what is out there, there has to be an end to something always. Supposedly, there's an end to something. Something has to create something that creates something, right? Yeah. So there has to be the ultimate creator of everything somewhere. But if you look at humans, there's evil and there's good. Simply defined, positive and negative. That's a real thing. Mm-hmm. So just like any other species or alien, highly intelligent, whatever being out there, there has to be good and bad. That's the only way we can define it. And maybe that doesn't exist in their like intelligence, but it's the same thing, man. It's like you got to put those possibilities into perspective because like, you know, it could be like Mars
It's possible. It's possible.
You just want good.
I would like to think that something is more advanced than us.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? That has their shit together. Because look, man, I'm taking it back to right now. Yeah. Like, I'm not impressed with a lot of people and the way that they're handling things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, like this is a test. Like you said, this could be a test. Like, yeah, like this rabbit hole. But yeah.
No, but that's it. That's such a good thought, though, Chad. Like, think about this: an advanced civilization who has evolved so much that they don't need negativity, they don't need war, they don't need bullshit like that. They don't have vanity, they don't have any of that shit.
Exactly.
They're just oh my god, man. Yeah, no, I would be all on board with that shit.
But maybe they need toilet paper.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe they have to like come to Earth to steal our shit tickets and like get out of here. I don't know.
Look, I mean, we've talked about this. You know, Mitch, we were trying to figure out where it's at. So you were talking about his belly button or some weird shit from last time.
What?
We won't start that conversation again.
What did we even talk about last night?
I remember.
I don't even remember.
No, we were. Doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. The point is yes. I think we're in a life in these bodies for a reason, but we don't have all the answers. Like Chad has said on our show that we did, Chad, Ghost Stalkers, there we said being
human is weird, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Being human is weird.
Yes.
Right. So that's
true.
Yeah.
I wonder too, like if they're, I don't know. I guess as a medium and knowing how I connect with energy, like with somebody like myself or somebody who's in tune with energy, like would we be able to pick up on extraterrestrial?
That's what I want to know.
Do they, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, do they carry the same energy wavelength? Like, would we be able to pick up on something like that if we could pick up on spirit?
You know, it's interesting though. Like they've done like all these weird, like
experiments,
past life regression type hypnotherapy, right? And they are channeling into this weird shit. Now this was done. I don't even remember when or what, but it's mind blowing because they are tapping into something else. And then of course, you hear of people who do the astral projections and things of that nature that are tapping into something else, something larger than us. It's very interesting. I would almost think that, you absolutely could.
Yeah. That and like something in like what I do. So when I do like investigative cases where it's like missing persons or homicides, things like that, you do something called remote viewing where like you can see into an area or say like a house or something like that, and you can kind of view what's someplace else when you're not physically there.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's like that. You said astral projection, absolutely, because you're in a dream state and things like that. And I think that we could see more than what we know we can if we tried, or if we knew we were looking for what to tune into.
What the hell blocks us all? Like, I know, like, you would probably agree, the majority of us have some form of ability that we could probably potentially tap into. What the hell blocks us? Is it society? What is this? Like, why can't we just do this?
I think society has a lot to do with it. I mean, not everybody's okay with paranormal. Not everybody's okay with mediumship. You know, they think it's taboo or religious beliefs or whatever. So I think that a lot of religious beliefs or societal things block us out. Yeah. I also think that each person has like a niche. So not everybody sees spirit the way I do. Some people are more energetic. Some people are more psychic. But I do think everybody kind of carries a level of intuition. I always talk about like a woman who becomes a mother, like for whatever that process for a woman, like heightens their intuition immediately. Yeah. You know? And so I don't know if it takes certain things in a person's life. And I use women having a child as an example because it's something that happens to the body and then boom, all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, I'm having these dreams, or like I can feel certain things that I didn't before. And so maybe it's just a matter of like something happening or a transition for that person in order to tune into that.
That is interesting too. Like I always said, like society in general is kind of like conditioning us, right? Like here, I remember being in kindergarten, for an example, and I remember we were little effers, you know what I mean? And like the teacher, but like the teacher would flick the lights on and off, and that was our cue to shut up. And it was just that simple little act of flipping the lights on and off. We knew immediately just to shut up. It's like, and I always thought, fuck, it started right there. It started right there. Like, how to become a productive member of society.
There was a guy, I forget what his name was. He's a mentalist, and he did this experiment where he put people in like an office, like a doctor's office or something, and there was this bell and one of the people in the waiting room would stand up, and then the bell would happen again, and they would sit down. And the next thing you know, all of these people started doing the same thing because they thought they were supposed to do it because somebody else did it.
Wow.
It's on like Netflix. I got to look up what it was, but he actually did it and then made a series about like the conditioning that happens. And that happened quick. It happened within minutes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also,
and
I mean, I don't know. That could be a hell of an explanation as to what's going on today. Like, with so much shit. My God. It's crazy.
There's a movie right now on Netflix called The Social Dilemma.
I got to watch it, bro.
You guys do. Everyone needs to, because it is about social media and how it is destroying all of us. And how we are addicted to these phones. And it's a real problem. I mean, it's a significant problem.
Yes. You see it in like I have my boys, right? And they wake up and the first thing they want to do is get their tablets or Nintendo or something to where, because it triggers your brain the same way as like a drug and you get addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, that movie, I watched it the other night and I'm like, man, we are all like, it's crazy.
And that's just it. It's like we're so goddamn deep in it, man. We're so deep into it.
I was reading a thread earlier today, just like in local, about, my kid doesn't want to get his license. I don't know what's wrong with him. And it's like, well, my kid's 19. He doesn't have his license. And all these parents are having these kids that don't have licenses. And it's like, what's going on? It's because, when we were a kid, that was our way to socialize.
That was our freedom. Yes.
And now they just socialize on the computer. So they don't even care about getting their license and even leaving the house.
They don't need it.
Right.
That's amazing.
Fuck, I couldn't wait to leave the house, man. I was like, get me out of here.
I do wake up really early every morning wanting to play Nintendo.
Fuck yeah.
That sounds fun.
Fuck yeah.
Who doesn't?
Obviously I can't because I don't own a Nintendo, but I wish I did. I purposely don't own, like, I used to have a PlayStation and stuff. I love gaming.
Yeah.
Like, I love playing games. But, like, I just can't. Because I'll be like in scrim wanting to finish the whole entire map.
We're getting you a Nintendo for Christmas. I don't even give a shit. It's happening.
If anything, the new PlayStation would be nice, Josh. Thank you.
I got your back.
If you didn't speak anymore, Nick would disappear, and everybody would be wondering where you
That's
are.
true. That's true.
They're like, "Where's Nick?"
Hey, don't we have a show tonight?
6 days.
Yeah, we can all start our cool little clan. We can have our cool headsets and the cool chairs and just be gamers. I mean, man, some of those gamers make mad money a month. It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong industry. I need to be a gamer.
Dude, yeah. But no, Chad, to your point or whatever, I mean, that was my whole, when I did that social experiment thing with the little credit card size phone that doesn't have any social media on it whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's like, that's exactly why. Wanting to do that, wanting to flip that switch, man, and just step back from that toxicity. Because I find myself getting really worked up sometimes, especially when I see false information being presented to people who are just drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I don't like that.
Oh yeah, it's that's why I stay out of the politics and the religions.
Oh, you got to do it.
Stuff.
Yeah, you got to stay away from it. Yes.
Oh man, it's just noise to me.
It is noise.
It distracts me from my energy to focus on what I have to accomplish and all the projects and all the stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
There's only so many hours in the day. Literally, I had 3 hours of sleep last night.
Exactly.
Here I am.
Yep, exactly.
I'm not really Nick right now. It's actually my robot.
But I mean, think of the 21 hours that you were awake kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? That's the motivation right there. It's you do have 24 hours in the day now. How the fuck are you going to use it? That's it.
But that's just it. We talk a lot about how people get comfortable, right? We get into a routine, then we get to a point where we're comfortable.
Yeah.
And then we're not so passionate anymore. If you watch a lot of the cable shows, seriously, I mean, we all know pretty much everybody in the industry, right?
Yeah.
So it's you watch some of the shows, and I'm pretty much friends with everybody, and I said, but where's the passion, man? It's a redundancy of showing up and doing your thing. And it's amazing. Show's great. I'm not bashing anybody, but I think they lose the passion. I made Ghost Adventures because I was freaking passionate about the paranormal and I wanted to know about it. Yeah. But then it started becoming redundant to me on the 10th season. 150 episodes later, I'm like, fuck, this is getting redundant. What, I'm using an EMF detector still? I'm not looking for electricity in the walls anymore. Like, come on.
Using an EMF detector. How groundbreaking is this?
Yeah. I'm open to all equipment. But, I mean, when you're using it, you know, so much, it just becomes like, what are we doing here? Wow. So I think you just have to be passionate about with what you love. And, you know, Tessa, you really talked about that a lot, about what you've done, what you've accomplished, what you've went through, and all the things that you're doing. Like, even immediately right now, your podcast show. Like, when I was watching, I could see that you're all in. You love it. And it's great. Yeah. It's a great thing to see. You know, you're driven.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see, because with my show, I connect entertainment to the spiritual world. And so I've had people on like Disney animators, the creator of Little Mermaid.
Nice.
People who work on Broadway. I've had actors from The Sopranos. And I found that like the thing that I found out is they're open to the spirit world. They love readings. And then like you and I talked about, they use their craft as their channel, you know, so acting, which is also another reason why I jumped into acting, is because like it's another channel. It's like an artistic channel. So, I'm very passionate about it. And I am taking the entertainment part of things, the spiritual part of things, and finding out how they connect for each person. So it's amazing. And it's a passion of mine.
Wow. That's a good point that, a lot of, I'm not big on going to like Hollywood parties or like functions. I feel so awkward usually, always actually, believe it or not. And, or like dinners, you know, like Hollywood dinners, right? Because it's all like sham. But like once they realize that like I work in the paranormal as well, or they hear about ghosts, all of their facades, everything drops, and everyone has that connection. No matter who you are, that stops everybody in their tracks. They're like, what? And it's fascinating to watch everyone's facade just drop, and it's really cool.
Did you ever see? Did you see the show Ghost Whisperer like years ago with Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Yeah.
That's all based from her experiences. I mean, she created that show. Like those were experiences she had, and they translated them into like a series.
I had no idea about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I had no clue about that. I enjoyed the show though. I watched the show with my wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I found it. Well, me, you know, jumping into being kind of like harnessing it, right, because of. Until the shows came out where more mediums were going out into the public, it was kind of shunned. Like you didn't really talk about it. And and then later Jennifer Love Hewitt came out and was talking about her experiences and how like since she was a kid like me, you know, she would see these things and I'm like, oh my God, she's like me.
That's so amazing.
You're right. There's like a facade that just stops. And you know, I refer back to like the Sopranos actors. You see them on TV, they're these tough guys, you know, and then you get them on a camera with me and they're just mush when it comes to, you know, talking about spirit and their loved ones who passed and having that experience. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was laughing in my head because I was just trying to picture Chad at a Hollywood party.
Fuck yeah,
I was like, all I could think of was like people approaching Chad at a Hollywood party. This is the vision I got. And Chad turns to Johnny, and me, and he just goes, "Those guys, they're not like us guys."
Yeah, those are the guys.
Let me hear it, Chad. I need that tonight because I missed it.
Those other guys, they're not like us. I go out, you, me. Oh man!
Oh, that's his Christopher Walken impression.
Yeah. I've got to work on it. I do want to do Freddy as like, you know, Chris Walken as like Freddy. Like here, I've got these knives, you know, for Halloween. You know,
dude, that's amazing. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah, I think I will. I will.
Yes,
you're talking to me all wrong. It's the wrong tone.
Yeah.
I'm coming for
3 or 4. I'm knocking on your door.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
You got it too.
I will. I know.
Shit,
I got
man.
it.
And then you should totally break out into like a dance that Christopher Walken would do in his music video.
Dude, yeah, like he taps and shit, right?
And, dude, you should get like a bunch of your friends there and just like cut them up and just flying everywhere as you're dancing around.
I like it. I like your vision right now.
And just be like, oh,
you know how I roll, Chad.
You came at me all wrong. It's the wrong tone. You know, something like that, man.
It's the wrong tone.
It's the wrong tone.
Bring it down.
You do it again. I'm going to stab you in the face. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my gosh. Christopher Walken.
It's so good.
You never know who's going to come out here, Tessa. You never know.
Yeah. Christopher Walken's going to be on here in the near future.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. What? Can anybody find Chris Walken?
I don't even know.
Does anybody know who Chris Walken is?
Yeah,
He's out there. He's out there.
He's probably still in the RV in True Romance.
Might be.
You know, talking to what's his name on his monologue.
It'd be interesting to sit with, like, what would you say to him? Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, there's like, I don't know, like.
I mean, I would probably say, you want to go get a steak?
Yeah. You know, what do you?
Hey.
I like this G crew. I'm gonna get a rating from Tessa. Oh man, I don't even know how that all began. How did we get on Chris Walken?
Well, I mean, you know, you at a Hollywood party, man. That's where it's
that's right.
That's
yes. Hollywood parties.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's where Christopher Walken would show up, the Hollywood party.
It's just awkward, yeah. So, but yeah, you bring up ghosts, man, or somebody's like, oh, I heard you work in the paranormal. Everybody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to be like, you know, oh, I want to come next time.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. You know?
Dude, it's so weird, too. Like, I've been to the most random places, it's like parties and whatever, and you know, I'll get like a skeptic or someone who doesn't believe or whatever. But it's like when somebody mentions something about me, about the show, then everyone stops and they want to talk about paranormal, even if they don't believe, they're just fascinated. I mean, it's so true.
Yeah.
Everybody I've ever met has some weird story or some weird thing. Man. Even doesn't matter what their beliefs are. It kind of goes out the door and it's just like, well, I don't know. I don't believe in any of it. But there was this one time.
Yeah,
exactly. This one time.
I told you Antonio Banderas actually said that exact thing to me.
Did he?
No, I do not believe. Oh, wait a second. It was this time. and he talked about this story, but like he actually said, no, but it was this time.
Oh, my God. I do not believe. But you know.
I do not believe,
but you know. There was this one time.
Was that the actual conversation? How'd that start? What was he saying? Was he talking paranormal? I don't understand.
I showed him a photo when I was over there. I had gone into a church with a friend, and we had taken a photo in there, and then literally, I'll try to find the photo, but at the bottom of the screen, in the wall, you see this figure, this man, like praying, like an amazing photo. I actually had to go back and find it. It was really awesome. And then I was showing it to him, and he was like, this is amazing. Yes. No. And, you know, and then I was like, so have you ever had any experience? No. But, you know, then everyone starts to think about it, and everyone comes up with, there's one time. Actually, there's one time. Everyone's got that one-time story.
I know.
That's just it, man. And if it didn't happen to them, it happened to somebody that's close to them or something like that. You know, everybody has a story. It's so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you, Tessa? Like anytime like you're going on and someone asks what you do, and like once you mention it, they're like, "Oh, read me, tell me everything about my life."
Exactly.
Like everyone wants all the answers.
My favorite question is always like, "Is there anybody standing around me right now?"
Oh yeah.
You know, is there anybody around me? Like we'll be in like, you know, Target, and somebody's like, "Is there anybody here? Like who wants to talk to me?" I'm like, "Not here, guy, not here."
If I'm dead, I'm not hanging out in a Target.
A lot of people have had, you know, experiences, or there's, like you said, that one time, but that made them a believer. Like, you know, they remember that one time, and how could that have been possible, or like what other explanation could there have been? And I love reading skeptics actually, because it'll always be like it's always somebody's husband, like. The wife is there for the reading, and the husband's like, You know what I mean? It's like they're like, this is crap. Like, don't believe her. You know what I mean? And the next thing you know, it's like somebody from his family came through and they mentioned something that only he would have known, and he's like, did she research me? Like, did she look me up? And I'm like, that's exactly what I did before I came to your house.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
But it's funny because then it's like when they have that one experience or that one reading or something to validate it for them, it's like, boom, the light switch.
That's magic.
Yeah.
You know, that's true. Like, and that's, I think, why we all kind of like not dabble, I should say, like why we're in it, why we have a passion for it. It's because also when like you're showing that moment to somebody, man, like when someone has an experience and you see that on their face and that moment of like, oh my God, like there's nothing like that, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, Tessa, I think what we got to do is all get together and go to Las Vegas to Area 51. Yeah. I think we're just at that point.
Are we going to stick their toe over? Who's going to stick their toe over the red line?
I'll do it.
Mitch.
We'll make Mitch. Mitch will do it.
Mitch is going to be our front man.
Mitch, you good with that, Mitch?
He'll be fine with it. He's always down for a party.
There he is.
It's hot.
That is Mitch's song. Yeah,
I know. It's a good one.
No, that would be cool. That would be really cool. There's a lot of like the hotels in Vegas and stuff too, with really cool histories and a lot of activities that happen there. Mm-hmm. We also have to see Cirque du Soleil.
I love it out there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Got to do that.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick funny story. So, Chad met me in Las Vegas, I think when I was visiting or something.
It's hot.
And
wait. Oh, okay. Like a separate. Yeah.
This is after where we originated the hashtag Judgment Life. So really quick, we were at Queen Mary. I was doing my Nick Ruff tour, and you were a guest at the event that I had at the Queen Mary a couple years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, longer, 5. Anyway, a while back.
Yeah, I mean, this story's going to drag on. But anyways, we created Judgment Life that night because there's a roadblock. I had to get out of the car with my cousin Justin. We were in the freaking Long Beach waiting for Snoop Dogg to kill us.
We were all crammed in the back of a taxi. Way too many guys in the back of a taxi. And when we got dropped off in a weird neighborhood, and then we stopped. We started talking about that movie Judgment Night. Yeah, exactly. And then
that's when we started hashtagging, hashtag Judgment Life. So if you ever see it pop up, it's an inside joke.
Damn.
Inside joke. So I pretty much almost died that night because none of the guys would get out of the car. I'm like, guys, I'll be the white guy that gets out of the car in Long Beach right now next to Compton. So I'm standing out there with my cousin. We're looking around like, well, we're going to die. And eventually it was weird because you guys left for 5 minutes, and then you came driving back around. You're like, get in the car. I know another way around the roadblock. I was like, what is happening tonight? This is the weirdest stuff. But yeah, it was crazy because Chad came to Vegas and basically, what was it, Chad? We said one night. Judgment Life. We are going to every single nightclub in one night in Vegas. And we got this V card.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much accomplished 100 of them. It was a V card.
Oh, okay.
You buy a pack,
which gets you access, Josh.
And you get all kind of discounts. Basically, it's like a Vegas pack. That's
gotcha.
A V card. Yeah.
That's where they get the V.
Yeah,
okay.
Chad's saving it right there.
Thank you.
Thank you for the definition, Chad.
Every once in a while, Josh needs a little more explanation over here.
Thank
you. Yeah, no shit, right? God damn it. Thank you.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Sorry, boys.
Honestly, that was one of the craziest, funnest nights I could ever imagine. Oh, man. I think a taxi driver tried fighting me.
Jesus.
Oh, you got to hear the story. So my cousin, was this the night, Chad? No, here. Okay, first off, I'm not looking to fight anyone. All right, let's just sum that up. somebody with a museum. Anyways. So I'm standing in the darkness, right? It's like the middle of the night. We're standing near Vegas Boulevard, and I'm standing there with my cousin, my buddy Hector, and I thought this was you, Chad. And we're all standing there, and the taxi driver backs up the car. We're in darkness, just standing there waiting for our friend to pick us up, right? Backs up the car next to us and says, come on, get in the car. I'm like, no, we're good. We're getting picked up. He's like, no, get in the car. I'm like, we're all set. We're getting picked up. Like, I don't know how many times I could tell this dude, like, we're good. So he keeps telling me, and then all of a sudden Italian Nick comes out, and fucking my old, like, stupid childhood wise ass is like, what'd you say? You want me to take off my pants? So I started saying stupid shit to him. He was annoying me. You know what I mean? I was like, this guy's being an idiot.
Oh, that's funny.
So I just started being this wise ass. And he's like, get in the car. I'm like,
oh, yeah, at that
you want me to
point,
take off my pants? And like, what is happening? And he's like, what'd you say? I said, do you want to take off my pants? Is that what you're telling me? So he literally parks the car, gets out of the car, walks straight up to my face next to two other guys. So there's three of us, and this guy's coming up. I'm like, shit, this guy crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. I never forget it because he's like, here. He's like, what did you say? I'm like, did you not hear me? I just don't give a shit. Like,
That's
I don't
so
back down, dude. And I'm not even joking. My buddy Hector, who I grew up with, is freaking nuts. He literally, New England kid, takes off his jacket, hands it to my cousin, and goes, I will destroy you right now. He's like some dude from a fight club. He's like great.
So funny.
And the taxi driver just backed off and got back in his car and left. It was just so stupid. Like, but that's what we're talking about. Why do people have to be so crazy? You know what I mean? It's like, people are just nuts, man, in this world, and I feel like sometimes they stretch it, and people do, like, you know, crazy stuff like that, and I feel like that's why aliens aren't coming down to visit us and help us out over here and give us high intelligent stuff, because people want to be in power. People always want to be above people in some weird way, and you know, people like to hate, unfortunately.
But I'm saying that would knock it down a little bit. You know what I mean?
I hope.
The aliens being here and, like, presenting themselves, that would, like, knock everyone down a little bit. Like, you know, like, hey, man, just chill out.
Right.
You know, you're not the end-all, be-all. You're not the almighty. Like, just,
it would have to be. It would have to be on such a grandiose scale, though, right? Like, because the way we operate, right, is we fucking shoot first and ask questions later, which would, I mean, it scares me the most, because it's like, what if we're poking the bear then, right? Like, what if I don't know.
Yeah. What happens if Will Smith, you know, shows up and it's Independence Day and we're all standing, we're holding G Crew signs on the top of, like, the building, going,
we just get zapped, man. Yeah.
Zoop.
I mean,
Mitch eliminates us. Mitch is like, finally.
Yeah.
I've been here.
Finally.
You know, pinned to your wall. I've been trying to warn you.
Yeah.
I love you, boys.
The G Crew would be fine because we got the George Clinton hookup. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We got access to the mothership.
We got the mothership. I know. I could totally talk to Danny. Danny would Danny would allow us.
He'd be
Danny
fine.
and I go way back.
It'd be fine.
George would be like, "Where's your ticket?" to board.
No ticket.
Oh man. Tessa, this is what happens. Unfortunately, we go down several rabbit holes. It's about space, time, aliens.
I
Do
love
we
it.
exist? Do we not
There's so many
exist?
rabbit holes to go down. It's fun.
True.
I know.
That is very true.
Here's the ultimate question. I know we all get to ask this question a lot. I mean, what's your perception at this point in your life right now? What do you think is the purpose? And what do you think happens when the body dies?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Guys?
Yeah, like what like your perception on, like, everything right now? Like, what do you think our journey is, I guess? Like,
I think that could go in. I think number one, I think it depends per person. I think each person is put here for a different purpose, right? As far as, like, our bodies, I feel like our souls have the purpose. It's our soul, our body's more just the vessel for it. And I think that's where I feel like, past lives and future lives and whatever kind of come into play. It's almost like you get chances, you know what I'm saying? And you find that, like, when you do past life regressions, you find out that there's a lot of similarities and why you do certain things in this life. So whether it be like career or, the people in your circle, things like that, I feel like it carries on from life to life, but our body's just a vessel. I just think that if we don't find our purpose or don't accomplish it, it's almost like we have to carry that on someplace else or figure it out, and if we do, great. But I think it just depends per person. Everybody's got a different purpose. Everybody's put here for a reason. Actually, it was Vincent Curatola from Sopranos. We had this conversation and he said it perfectly. Like, he went to a funeral home and sat with a dead body. It was like his friend's funeral home because his mother had passed, and he was sitting there and he literally sat with this dead body for hours and watched them do the process of like the embalming and things like that. And it like secured his belief that the body is literally just a vessel, because nobody occupying that body would allow that procedure to happen. And it was kind of like this moment where he was like his faith was secured, or like his faith in the spirit world, kind of like your soul leaves. That's it. It moves on. But your soul is energy. So energy can't be created or destroyed, so where does it go? Does it continue on? There's a lot of things I think that could be answered, but from my experience, I think we have a purpose. If we don't fulfill it, it might be the next life that we fulfill it, or we have to fulfill it in more than one life because it's such a profound purpose, maybe.
Yeah, until you get it right.
Until you get it right.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, I'm in a weird phase of my life where I'm like, you can't have any regrets. You have to be fully content of looking yourself in the mirror and being completely open and free. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's the Aries. I'm an April baby, so maybe I'm an Aries, crazy, free-spirited fire sign. But it's more like you have to accept like you fully, and you have to be honest, and you have to be like content with that, right? And I feel like you have to gather all this information through your life or lives or whatever you've gone through, and really take all that information. And maybe that's the purpose, is we're just here to grow and learn and afterwards evolve into something else, a higher intelligence, a spiritual form, energy, or to another planet, and I don't know, turn into another species, aliens. I don't know. It's weird. Or do we go to
I think each decade in our life, like, our minds are only capable of so much, and like as we progress and as we grow and evolve, even in this life, like, we're capable of more as we get older. We, our intuition heightens. We've learned a lot of lessons along the way. We change our perspectives. And then we hit this point, like you said, where it's like, that's it. No more, like, no regrets. Just enjoy it. Use all the lessons that you've learned, and then finally try to find. I don't think a lot of people find that purpose and that feeling that you're talking about until later in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well said. I mean, I could talk to you for hours, honestly.
Yeah.
So, Italian dinner, Italian dinner, and we're going to talk about things.
Area 51.
Area 51. We'll invite them.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever they are.
I'll be outside smoking.
Can you imagine? It's like little aliens like Mitch just working away on the ground there. Like, they have us all fooled.
Could be.
Just smoke and mirrors. We're all
could be.
Stranger
they're
things
just building the ultimate machine down there that just saves everybody.
No.
Man, I love this conversation. I mean, it does give me hope. It gives me hope for something greater, and I think that's the most important part that we can walk away from, is we're all on our separate journeys. We're experiencing separate things, but we're all interconnected as human beings through this energetic web of this universe that we're living in. And I think it's absolutely amazing when we can talk about and share information and just kind of like, Chad, I totally agree with you. Like, just be one, one positive energy force that we can, evolve. And so that's
and it goes along with what. Yeah, it goes along with what Chad said, though, like the Hollywood parties, people dropping the facade because the paranormal, the spiritual world, it's like, it's true. It's like you can connect in some way. Like, people have questions. People want to know. They have their own set of beliefs, but that kind of connects it all together. The experiences. and people just drop it and they're like, oh, they understand me. Like, what do you know that I know that maybe, and it becomes a connective kind of piece, I think, between people.
I think you're absolutely right. There's something very carnal about that, right? Like, just, I don't know, man. It's right underneath the surface, right? Like what you guys were saying. You drop that facade and it's like, oh, there's that person. There's the person, right? And now I'm actually connecting and talking with the person.
Right.
It's amazing stuff. It's amazing stuff.
Yeah,
and we're going to be a part of it, guys. It's cool.
We talk about this a lot. I mean, Tessa, well said. I mean, seriously, I love your information, and this is what it's all about, is just these great conversations that we can have as human beings. And I think that's what it is. It's information to share from one another and try to evolve. But I think if you look at just human beings in general, if we strip everything that we have down to the human body, we are what we came into this world and when we leave. So, but the problem is in between this middle part of our life that we have, a lot of us can get blinded by the lights, blinded by everything that we're talking about, the Hollywood parties, money, materialistic stuff, and get caught up in all that, like, that greediness and it's so gross. But it takes a well-balanced individual to say, no, that's not what I am. Pull that mask back off you. That's not what you were when you came into this world, but you evolved into that person, and now you're caught up in it, Yeah.
So I think a lot too, like you see people in what I do, like as mediums. There's a couple people where you see them get caught up in the money aspect of it. Like they were, I don't call it a gift. I call it an ability. And I truly believe that, because I think saying that what I do is a gift puts me on some pedestal that I don't belong on. Right. It's my ability and I'm using it to help people. But you see these people who refer to it as like a gift. And then there's the money and the celebrities and the next thing you know, you see things being taken away from them in their life, and it starts to kind of crumble underneath them because they're not being genuine about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the same goes for the paranormal. It's so clicky anyways. But I mean, you're right. No, I mean, but you have multiple abilities. And I think that's what we love about you, is like you're not just like what you're saying, one thing. You're multiple things. Yeah. You have the ability as an artist, you're a dancer, you do incredible stuff. Like I've seen some of your videos. It's incredible. And anybody that hasn't seen Tessa, go out and check out her videos. Everything that she's doing is really amazing. But you're right. It's almost like the same analogy goes for me on a paranormal show. Like when I first came out with Paranormal Lockdown, we announced it. I had nothing to do with the first marketing, but I saw the marketing trailer that they released on the commercial. And I was like, I called up the general manager and the executive producers. I'm like, yo. I'm like, yo. I was like, first off, it said Nick Roth. What did it say? It said Nick Roth, expert paranormal investigator. I'm like, first off, when did I become an expert in everything? Because that's not true. So I was like, you guys got to change that. Come on, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that. That's not my doing. I didn't improve this. So they changed it to like paranormal investigator, whatever, researcher.
Man,
but it's like, it's so true. It's like a gift. Like we try so hard to put labels on stuff, and I think that's the problem sometimes, is we're trying too hard to be like in a box when we should be out of the box thinking. Not what's in the box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
There's something seriously wrong with all of us. So I'm just putting that out there.
I love it.
Yes, we're all very hyper. Or maybe I am. I don't know. Tessa, honestly, I could talk to you for hours. It's amazing. Like, your world of information. We love the knowledge that you're sharing with us. So thank you for that. And where can people find you? Tell us where people can go to check out all your stuff.
My website should be up and running soon. I'm redoing it because of the podcast and things like that. So I'm kind of revamping the website, and pretty soon it'll just be TessaDelZoppo.com. But in the meantime, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I just started Twitter. I'm like the worst with social media. I am so bad with social media. Like Facebook, I do, and now I'm trying to get like everything else going. I'm like, oh, you're actually supposed to try it, this stuff. Okay.
Right,
No, you could find me on social media, definitely. And then to book a reading for now, just email me.
Nice.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
you heard it. Go check her out. Go get a reading. Go see her show. Go, watch her podcast. It's awesome.
Yeah, and ours is going to be, it's airing Thursday, tomorrow. Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Today's just another day. Today's another day. Let's not label days anymore because I don't even know. Yeah.
I don't either, but yeah, my podcast you can find on YouTube, and our interview will be airing there too, so that'll be fun. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Nice.
Yeah,
cool.
It's great. Yeah, mad props to everything that you're doing. Before we let you go, what's your favorite Italian dish?
Ooh.
I gotta hear this. Like your pasta dish or like the fave.
You want to know what's funny? So I did like those Italian. These are rabbit holes again, but like I did those back in Niagara Falls. Like when I was little, it was all Italian people, and they used to have Italian festivals every year. And my mother would put me in, to the Italian beauty pageants and things like that. And I won Miss Naples when I forget how old I was, maybe like 6 years old or whatever. And it was funny because like my grandmother's sitting in the audience and they ask you those questions, like, what's your favorite Italian dish? Like, who's your favorite Italian person? And my grandmother was like so sure. She was sitting in like the front row. She's like, that's my granddaughter. And they were like, who's your favorite Italian person? And she's waiting. And I was like, my sister. And she was like, what do you mean? And they asked me the question, and honestly, it has stayed pretty consistent. I love ravioli, but it's not like Italian American is different than Italian, in Italy. They eat so different than us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Italian American culture. But I love pizza and I love raviolis. I will eat those every day, pretty much.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, totally. So when I went to Venice and I filmed on Poveglia Island, this is a funny story. I gotta tell it really quick. We were in Italy and we went out, and basically it was crazy because we were walking around Venice and there was like only one, I think we weren't filming, there was only one nightclub or something like that in Venice. So we all go in there and there's this one DJ playing music and stuff like that. It was so funny. And then all of a sudden, I think some of us had maybe a little too much to drink,
Wow.
We're in Italy, So,
don't be shy. Oh my God.
That was perfect.
That was the best timing ever.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Bam.
So we're running around the streets of Venice. Can you picture it? Like this was like
That's early on.
Uh-huh.
11 years. You know this story, right, Chad? This is about 11 years ago.
I don't know about
Never heard
that. No, I knew you guys were there. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you told me this or not.
All right, I was filming Ghost Adventures on Poveglia Island, and right before we got locked down on the island for the night, dropped off, by the little boat, we're running around the streets of Venice, and like there's like little bridges connecting the canals and stuff, and I just remember like, Zach's hanging from the bridge, and our fixer at the time, this Italian fixer, is like, no, we cannot do that. You stupid Americans. And we were being so stupid. We're like, Americano. We're all singing and stuff. Americano. So dumb. And all of a sudden, I just remember like we were messing around. We threw Zach's keys to his hotel room like up in the air, and it went into the flower pot of like some old ladies, some poor old lady at like her second floor window. So we're like, shit. So I think I'm taking my production manager at the time, and the fixer's like, no, we cannot do this. Oh, this is crazy, but I love it, and it was funny. And I'm boosting our production manager up, to the second floor window, and all of a sudden this like little old Italian lady whips open the window, is like, a polissimo. She's screaming polissimo out the window in Italian. And we're like, oh shit. He grabs the keys really quick as she's trying to like hit him with a purse or something.
Oh my God.
We're running through the streets of Venice, and you hear the police boats coming after us. It was amazing.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And that's the story about how Nick came from Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
I got many stories. Many stories
But
to
you know
tell.
what? So my family right now that I know of lives in Napoli, so they're in Naples, and then my other side of the family is in Sicily. And in Sicily, it's really like there's like a whole string of like nightclubs. Like they're partiers down there.
Wow.
You were in the wrong part of Italy because Sicily is the party area. But where my cousins are right now in Naples, they're really into paranormal and spirit. Like I had to do readings for my family out there. And I'm like on Google Translate because I'm not fluent in Italian. I could speak it, casually, but not fluently. So I'm like on Google Translate. I'm trying to translate like a reading to them and sending it back and forth. But she was saying that it's huge out there. Wow. Like they're big believers in all of this, which is so cool.
We got to hit the road, boys.
This is the problem. We're just going to continue to talk about stuff like we're Eddie and then we talk. I mean, this is Tessa. Like honestly, I think I have a vision. Jeez, I have a vision.
Okay.
First, we go to Las Vegas to see her cousin there, and we do a G Crew live from Vegas.
From Vegas?
Yeah,
sure,
man. We'll go to the Palms Hotel, talk to the Maloof brothers. We'll get into the Palms Casino.
We're all going to die. It'll be fine.
Maybe Mitch will die. I don't know.
Maybe.
And then we'll go to Italy.
Yeah.
I got to see. Yes, Sicily. I got to see my grandma. My grandmother was 100% Sicilian. My grandfather 100% Irish. So,
that's hot.
Yeah. Did you know? So my grandmother was kidnapped at a young age. Super dramatic. I know. Sorry, I didn't smoothly go into this transition. True story. So she was kidnapped. I forget the whole story, but my mom told about. But this is how I knew we were connected. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, this is my younger first part of my life as a wise guy. But yeah, so my grandma, she was kidnapped, and then she basically got returned or whatever, escaped and all that stuff, and she was fine. She's fine, but she was fine. So I found out later that we were connected to the Banana family or something like that out there in California. Yeah, and they're like, that's why she came back home fine. So I mean, who knows? But yeah.
There's a lot of connections to. I feel like if you're Italian, I don't know. Maybe it's just my area. Like there's all these books like in Niagara Falls about like the mafia in Niagara Falls and how it's all connected. And I have like my brother's grandfather was in these books. Wow. And I made friends, like a lot of like the Buffalo and Niagara Falls area. There's just so many connections to mafia and things like that. Maybe that's why my podcast is like heavy on the mafia people from TV and things like that.
That's why I'm on it.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't even know. I was just like, he looks like one of us, so he's got to come on the show.
Yeah, exactly. They're not like us.
Like, no. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of ours.
He's a friend of mine, a friend of ours. This is Donnie.
I've seen Donnie Brasco. Don't do that.
So when I filmed at Statler City there in Buffalo, New York for Paranormal Lockdown, we had connections to an actual mob family tie that came to Statler, to the location that was coming through my Geoport device. Do you guys remember seeing that episode? It was crazy, dude. It was like connecting. We had to bleep the name because we found out the name of the family is still in the area.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. And it was talking about like unsolved, somebody going missing or whatever. And we found facts based on he would go to this hotel and stuff when it was in operation. It's wild.
There is a lot of time. Like my one good friend, Maria Buffalino. So shout out to my girl Maria because I know she'll be watching at some point. But her uncle was portrayed in The Irishman, the movie The Irishman, by Joe Pesci, Russ Buffalino. That was her uncle. So they live here.
Wow.
She's a good friend of mine here. And I went there, October I was supposed to have a show at the Statler. Me and Dan were talking about it, but I don't know if that's going to happen with the governor, but fingers crossed. When I went there to do my other shows and things like that, you pick up so strongly on those connections and things that would go on in that area. It's insane how much history, like mob ties, things like that, tie back to those places. Hotel Lafayette was another one. Yeah, crazy, but interesting.
Man. Well, we'll make that happen. The Statler thing. You know, we know people. So we know people like Dan.
Dan texts me, he's like, I don't know if they're going to let me. I'm like, listen, I'm showing up to the Statler in October. Whoever wants to come is coming.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know who our family is? Mitch.
Right?
That's right.
What are we doing,
Mitch? Yeah. It'll be Mitch. It'll be fine.
Exactly. All right, Tessa, we got to do this again. I mean, it's absolutely amazing talking to you, and
you guys are great.
I love the conversation. It's really cool. So, everybody, check her out and go watch all her stuff. And we will have a homework assignment for you if you do not watch all of her stuff. and we know people, right?
We know.
Right.
We will find you.
Yeah. Mr. Walken, we know people.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Tessa. Well, have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tessa.
Best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
See you soon.
All right.
All right. Oh my gosh. So, geez, that's it. Another night fulfilled. I needed my brain to work harder than the basic conversations I've been having with human beings today. So this was great. You know, sometimes you gotta evolve.
That's right.
Sometimes you just gotta evolve. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just want to play with the PlayStation.
That's right. Damn it.
You know?
My screen is frozen.
It happens on G Crew.
It happens. Everything is crazy.
Oh my god. I don't know what it's doing. It's so crazy. Hold on.
You can or the end button, right? Oh, you know what? It probably
it was
froze.
frozen. Gotcha. All right. Bye, number 7.
Bye. Bye, Johnny 5. Johnny 5 is alive.
Johnny 5.
I know I'm really leaving this time. It wasn't working.
Or else we're going to start talking about Short Circuits, the movie, in a second.
Yeah, that's right.
Or Cocoon. Or Cocoon. Dude, some people fear Cocoon. That's a scary film.
Yeah, a little bit.
Cocoon's scary.
It's a little messed up.
People.
Yeah. Johnny comes in and kills it at the... Yes, that was the old people who become young again. Yeah. Remember, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, can you get our Cocoon ready, Johnny?
Oh, already ready.
Get the G Crew vessel of Cocoons ready.
It's already ready.
You're gonna see this butterfly. My caterpillar turn into a butterfly. Oh, I'm so tired.
G Crew, I don't even know. Out, maybe? G Crew, out.